I've heard some people come to Mexico for beach holidays, but me and Eric like a little bit more excitement with our trips away. So we're here at San Pedro for the world's longest hill climb. I think it's fair to say that the scenery is slightly more exciting than Silverstone and Snetterton. Mexico is pretty special. Eric loves to go on an adventure, and last year he came here to the San Pedro hill climb to take on the world's longest hill climb. And I came with him to give him a bit of a hand. While we were here, we went for a trip all the way up the hill in the van, and when we were driving I looked out at the scenery and looked at epic pieces of roads like this piece behind me and decided that I needed to come and have a go myself. I'm not here to try and take over Mark Miller's lap record, I'm here to have fun and go as fast as I comfortably want to go, which means once I put my helmet on, I want to go fast. So the home of the San Pedro hill climb is Rancho Melling, and this is an actual working cattle ranch down in Baja, and things are done a bit more the Baja way. So Eric is just finishing off a little bit of prep on his bike after the international road race, the Baja International Tourist Cup the other day. So he's just checking stuff over, a few little details. The floor is, well, it's dry and it's surprisingly comfortable to kneel down on, so that's a bonus. Right, so Eric's on his usual Superstock S1000. I'm on Dave Thomas's old Gen 3 S1000, which is cool. I've put my suspension in it so it rides like my bike, and we both did the International Tourist Cup the other day, and the bikes are fast, so that's all that really matters. And then if we look around a bit more of the camp, there's a few more things nestling around. John Magnusson, who has been very generous and loaned us his utterly pimped transit van again, he's riding his V4S Multistrada up the hill, and he has, in the way of John, ridden it here from San Diego, so that's quite cool. And he's also this year brought some mates with him, possibly the most optimistic man here, on a Hayabusa, however you want to call it. That, on the bottom section of the circuit where there's some quite decent straights, is going to be really, really fast. And up the top where it's lots of technical sort of first, second, switchback stuff, he's going to be sweating. So that's going to be quite entertaining for him. Up the top half of the circuit, around the really tight twisted stuff, a Supermoto is going to be king. Carlin Dunn set a record around here of 14:58 on a 450 Supermoto, so it proves that these can go really, really well. Last year, Mark Miller turned up on his V-twin Tuono with twice the horsepower that Carlin had, and the knowledge from Carlin's onboards and bits like that, and managed to go 14:30, so he moved the record on a fair bit. But it's fair play that Supermotos, I would imagine, are brilliant fun, and, for at least half the circuit, are the toy to have. 400 Kawasaki's, more Supermotos, because that is the tool for around here really, and a Ducati Hyper Motard thingy, which I think will be actually really, really good compromise, because it's going to be faster than the singles on the bottom section and still real flickable and drivable up the top. So that may be the most fun bike here. Eric and Red, who are at the road race, they're here as well. They've actually just got back because they've been doing a unofficial practice run up and down the hill, and who can blame them? Brett and Jack, who also did the road race, they're here, but they really came for the hill climb, and the road race was basically, you know, a bonus for them, because the Supermotos at the road race, you know, they're spending a long time flat out, so they will suit this section, this sort of event, a little bit better. There are also some cars here for the hill climb. So this is a 300 plus horsepower Impreza rally car. It's decent spec, and the guys who are driving it apparently can pedal it fairly well. So that's pretty cool. There is also a Dodge Viper, but it's up the hill at the moment doing a recce run. Dinner. Tasty. So are you riding or driving one of the cars? Car.
Salud.
Excellent.
Yay.
Yeah. So that's some of the runners and riders for the next 2 days. I'm going to go and get myself some awesome food to eat, and it'll be early in the morning to get up to the road. So it's just gone 7 o'clock in the morning. The road is looking sunny. I'm a little bit nervous, but not too bad. I'm going to be treating this as a bit of a, you know, a brisk road ride more than a race, because frankly I haven't actually learnt the course well enough to attack it like a race. So It's 30 kilometres, over 150 corners. If you ask me, I'd have said it was probably double that. Quite a lot of it's quite technical, but there's only a few corners that would, I think, really catch me out. So I've learnt those bits, but I haven't necessarily learnt all the bits in between, so I'm going to basically ride it by sight. And bit by bit it'll all come together. I have done a few on board, so I'm not completely new to it. But no, a little nervous, but mostly looking forward to getting out in this sunshine and riding down that bit of road. So the plan for practice is we get 2 practice runs with like an hour in between them, so we've got time to get back and put warmers on and bits like that again. Eric is going to run number 1 on the road. There is a sweeper before him to clear the rabbits out the hedgerows and the birds out the trees, if they have rabbits in hedgerows around here. I'm going to go off about 4th or 5th because it's my first time and I'm not that confident of where I'm going. Wade and Eric, other Eric, are in between us, and undoubtedly, being Baja, the order will go completely to pot and we'll just all go right around. Right. It is 10 minutes before we're hitting the road. The sun, as you can see, is quite bright. So there's going to be places where it's almost blinding, but that's a bit like evening practice at the Isle of Man. So the kind of place where I think it's going to show there, it's just going to be a case of rolling off a little bit and working out where you're going. Later in the day it would be better because it'll be higher. Right, Dave Pfeiffer has just set up. He's like the sweeper bike, so he's going first to make sure the road's clear, and then when he radios through that everything's clear, we are go. Right, I'm at the top of San Pedro after my first run up the hill, and it's fair to say I don't know where I'm going, so I went slow. I mean, the road's awesome, it's just so technical and so interesting, but I really don't know where I'm going. I mean, I knew where the really dodgy bits were that were like really decreasing radius and bits like that. I knew where they were, so that was all right. And there's a lot of strobing in your eyes, so because the sun's quite low, so yeah. Not my finest performance, but we're here. I didn't bugger too much up. We'll get better, especially when I can see more. I got to the top of the hill and John, who must have set off a minute behind me, turned up about 10 seconds after me, so John, I'm saying that's, you know, it's the experience. So
I got passed 3 times, so you know.
But did you enjoy it?
I did, yeah.
It's pretty awesome, isn't it?
It was great, yeah. It was really fun. So
it's a mountain run where you know you're not going to get a speeding ticket.
yeah, exactly.
So it's basically, yeah. It's damn cool though, isn't it? Damn cool.
It's damn cool, that's for sure. Yeah.
Right, we've got most of the bikes up here now. There's a couple more coming. That's Chris. Cindy will be on the way as well. We can hear the cars rumbling up the hill because the Viper isn't exactly subtle and the Subaru's already here. Hell, this is quite a cool bike gathering really. Quite exclusive. Right, well he's got smoke coming off his brakes, so I think they've had a workout. Make sure everybody's here and then we'll be having a little cruise back down the hill. So I just used the lap timer as a basic guide to see how slowly I'm really going, and I did the 30km run in 18 minutes and 3 seconds near enough. Slowest speed of 70 mile an hour, top of 158 and 63 average. It says it's 18.9 miles and I only used 38 degrees of lean angle, or 39. So it's not exactly pushing the limits of the bike at this stage, and I'm perfectly happy with that because until I know where I'm going, we don't want to be taking the mickey. It's time to have another go. And the sun's a bit higher in the sky, so there'll be less shadow, so hopefully being able to see will improve the enjoyment a bit. Right, that's second run done. Seeing is a massive bonus. A lot more confident and knocked 50-ish seconds off, which is not bad going. And then John on the Multistrada smoked me in the last few kilometres, so I thought I could hear something look behind me. I was like, let him through, and he was just real confident, just flick, flick, flick. So that was pretty cool, really. He is on the ball. Good fun that. Getting better. Definitely getting better. So here we find at the top of the mountain, the hill climb Yodas. Eric, probably the fastest man here on sports bike. Jack, the fastest man here on a supermoto. They're looking calm. They're looking happy.
Good ride.
They are using the force. Well, the camo Ducati is definitely blending in well up here.
Right, where is it?
Looking sweet, if I can see it. So I've had a short little lunch break. What I've done during lunch, after feeding myself and putting some fuel in the bike, I've actually shortened the chain on the bike because we were running the wheelbase really, really long. It was actually right at the end of the adjusters, and that's longer than I've ever run a BMW before. And it was great at the road race because it gave it stability over the real fast stuff. But here I need the bike to turn a little bit quicker, especially at the sort of tail end of the course, up the top of the mountain where it's much tighter. So the shorter wheelbase should aid turning, so hopefully we're a bit better. Technically this is now qualifying. I'm approaching it exactly the same way. I'm going to ride around, try not to crash into anything. Right, so we've got to the second bogey corner, as I call it. This is one of the ones that comes in quite fast and then tightens up on it, and Eric's obviously realised that just as he's come through, and it looks like he's probably at the brakes and probably took the front there and rattled the bike into the Arnco here, and then it's bounced back out, and he's up and conscious, but his shoulder's hurting, so this is definitely not what we want. So, yeah, bits of reckless windscreen on the floor. Yeah.
A little bit of everything.
It's a bit leery up here, isn't it, Wade?
Yeah, it wasn't what we were expecting to see.
No, but at least he's upright.
Yeah.
Right, so Eric's, obviously we've had better days.
Yeah.
Shoulders hurting, possibly broken something. But at least you're in basically one piece.
Yeah, just lost the front, so.
One of them things. Right, Eric's ready to go. Getting chauffeur driven for a change. So Eric's away down with the medics to go to the proper ambulance and get his collarbone looked at, because it sounds like he's done collarbone. The bike will have to stay up here for now. Then what will happen is we'll get like a travelling marshal come up and collect us, and we'll ride all the way down, and then later on, probably when we finish all the sessions this afternoon, then I'll come back in the van and collect the bike. But the main thing is he's in one piece. This afternoon hasn't quite gone to plan, so yeah, Eric fell off up the hill. Looks like he just took the front when he realised the corner was tighter than he probably originally thought. Not quite sure. But yeah, he's broken his collarbone, so he's away up to hospital in Ensenada, which means we're a vehicle down, and I need to go and get his bike and do all that sort of stuff. But at least he's in one piece and he'll be okay. We've got medical cover, so it's not the end of the world, but obviously it's not the afternoon we wanted. The rest of the bikes and the cars and bits are on circuit doing the rest of their qualifying. I'm not, because, well, there's bigger fish to fry today. Yeah, so not the kind of day we wanted, but at least me Eric's mostly in one piece. These boys are going to go and have a load more fun. A load more of the guys at the top of the road are going to do exactly the same. So in a few more minutes, the road will be theirs, and they can go and rip it up the mountain again. So it's race day morning here at San Pedro, and the keen-eyed amongst you will notice I'm wearing leathers. So even though I didn't actually manage to get out for the qualifying runs, luckily the organisers had actually been recording, timing the practice runs, and so my second run up the hill actually did qualify me. So they're letting me start the race, which is nice of them. Now I know that Eric is doing okay as well. I can relax a little bit, but I'm not going to be pushing the limits. What I'm planning to do is have a nice smooth ride up the hill, enjoy the ride, come back in one piece, and then deal with all the aftermath. Just on the first race day run up the hill, I've got the lap timer on the bike. First few miles were quicker than yesterday's practice lap, and then I lost a bit in the middle. I think I just, I wasn't committing to anything particularly hard. I was just riding through it, and that actually chilled me out a bit because then I didn't have anything to chase, and so I chilled out a little bit. But through the top section, through the real tight switchbacks, I had a better flow through there, and that was quicker. So no, I enjoyed that ride much more than yesterday. So now, of course, I've got to do the last one as well. Onboard lap timer info, 17:05 basically, but I am a second late pressing the button when we start off, so 17:6, 17:7-ish. 66 average, 26 mile an hour slowest, which is actually faster than I thought, and 166 top, which is probably mid 150s in real life when I look at the data logging later, but still only 43 degrees of lean angle. I am not knee dragging up here, that is for sure. But I am smiling, which is a distinct improvement on yesterday. Did you enjoy that, Andy?
Yeah, that was pretty fun. I'm glad they started later, so we had a little bit more heat on the course and the sun's higher. I'm still trying to remember the course from yesterday because just 150 turns is just too much. It's not like 12 or 14 turns on the Grand Prix track. And that's actually made the 400 really difficult to ride because it's such a momentum bike. If you fall out of the power band, your whole lap's screwed. You're losing tons of time. So I'm kind of having to really commit to some of these turns, and it's a little stressful, but it's fun.
Did that feel good, John?
Yeah, it felt good. I overcooked one corner, but I got through the corner, so that's what counts. It didn't feel like I was riding as hard as yesterday, but I think I was smoother, so that sometimes is faster, so you never know.
So we're back at the start line. The organiser just up the top because one of the cars that came towards the end actually spilt a little bit of oil, so they're just clearing that up. Once they're happy that that's covered, we'll be turning around and ready to go. The bike's been refueled, we've had a bit of a check round it. I've had a drink because that is important, and we're near enough ready to go. It's fair to say that today it is hot and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. Right, that's second race run done, so that is all the racing we get to do. I'm not going to pretend that was particularly fast. I was just enjoying the ride, treating it like a brisk road ride with no speed limits, and just, you know, staying out wide, picking me turns, seeing as much as I could, and just getting the throttle open, and yeah, just, you know, slow in, fast out. Quite slow in a lot of the time, but brilliant fun. Yeah, sort of, you know, smoothed it all out a little bit and just thoroughly enjoyed that. If the boys want to go faster, they can go faster. I am happy at that. Woo. You boys enjoy that?
I did.
A little messy, but yeah, it was fun.
Where I came in and just full stand up, you know, braking, and then once I realized I was in control, get my shit together and drop a few gears and then get back going.
All right. Yeah, I had some messy moments, but we're here.
Yeah, in one piece and smiling.
That's right. I'm ready for a beer.
We'll probably have the ride down first.
No, wait, ask Wade. He's probably got some in his pocket.
You never know.
Wade does, for sure.
Good.
Oh, it's great.
It was a joy.
Found the end of the throttle and everything. It was going fast.
Yeah, man.
Really nice. Yeah.
So having ridden a 600rr last time, how do you rate the R3 in comparison?
It's more fun. A lot of twists up top. Little bikes are more fun and much less terrifying. So more confidence, more fun at the end of the day.
Oh, that was great fun. Yeah, my tire's spent now.
They had fun. I know Ducati made a Pikes Peak version of this. They maybe ought to start making a San Pedro version, because this, I suspect, may have been the fastest thing up here today. And John has made it a bit of a legend.
So you put full traction control.
Oh yeah, I leave it in sport mode. It's got wheelie control, traction control, you know, cornering ABS. I wouldn't still be standing here if it didn't have all that. I just twist the throttle and smile.
And 150 miles an hour down the straightaway.
Having had a bit of a mechanical on the first run, Jack's made it on the second one on a different bike.
See if I can still be the fastest guy up the mountain on a supermoto.
Hell yeah, man. I suspect that might happen. Kudos for the commitment. Did you enjoy it?
Absolutely. Should have been riding that one. I wouldn't have blown up the other one.
Right, so we're all at the top of the hill. Everybody's upright and smiling. Has everybody had a good time?
Yeah! Awesome!
In the final standings, Jack Chamberlain was the fastest supermoto up the track in 16 minutes and 48 seconds. I managed to sneak the Superstock win by a very fine margin with a fastest run of 16 minutes 21. And John Magnussen was the overall winner at 16 minutes 14 seconds on his V4 Multistrada. And then he just rode it home, because he's a bit of a legend. So that's the end of our Mexican adventure for 2022. We had an awesome time at the Baja International Tourist Cup, and other than Eric's slight little mishap, we've also had a pretty good San Pedro hill climb. So thank you for watching, and join us again soon for the next adventure.